Alright, hello everybody, Frouwo here, again, bringing you another NSL Sponsorship League game, Season 3, now in the round of 4 Tower, with 5 and Q facing off EoT, the Hammer team, the premier team for EoT. Start off quickly with the bans for 5 and Q. 5 and Q banning out thus far the Venomancer, the Timbersaw, the Visage, the Shadow Demon. Bans out from EoT thus far, the Slark, the Lifestealer, the Luna, and the Abaddon. 5 and Q. In the meantime, picking up the Bristleback, the Crystal Maiden, the Nyx Assassin, EoT picking up the Alchemist, the Mirana, and the Bane. The Mirana Bane combo, something very potent. EoT likely watching, maybe watching the Starlighter cast earlier today or yesterday for them. Seeing Sigma tear it up with that combo. Other than that, really, 5 and Q. Nothing really out of the ordinary with the draft. Picking up what could be 2 supports first, but we'll have to wait and see. A Naga pickup now from 5 and Q, so 3 thus far very versatile heroes in Bristol. Well, actually all 4. That, not the Crystal Maiden though. Scratch that. Crystal Maiden isn't too versatile. She is really required just to support, can't really carry in that kind of terms, or even semi-carry. So, but it something we should really note in this drafting phase is that 5 and Q really did fear that Chrissy Timbersaw. Chrissy playing the fantastic Timbersaw in the game against Team Angry Birds. Angry Birds getting demolished in that game 1 where Chrissy essentially balled out of control. And EoT now picking up Nature's Prophet, certainly going to be Chrissy's hero, the offlaner. And Night Stalker banned out now by 5 and Q. Feeling as if EoT looking for that mid hero now. The Korean scene certainly feels as if they really enjoy playing a lot of high impact mid heroes versus the more and more passive ones. But we'll see if any more influence from the games related out, and the Storm Spirit ban out actually from EoT. So again, fearing those high impact mid heroes, Night Stalker and the Storm Spirit. But again, I was just going to try and say earlier, let's see if any more of the Western influence seeps into these matches today. It'd be quite the sight to see, hopefully. 5 and Q now, however, waiting on their last pickup. Likely to be a solo mid or a Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger. 5 and Q really gonna have very their lane's gonna be whatever they want in essence. Wind Ranger, solo laner, mid laner, support, Naga Siren, mid laner, support, carry, Nyx, mid laner or support, Crystal Maiden having to stay on the support role. Bristleback in the meantime can do in essence anything. He can offlane, he can mid, and he can play the carry role. So 5 and Q picking up their draft in its entirety, and EoT now picking up that last mid hero, Dragon Knight for ROI, likely going to be taken mid. And we have our drafts. Once we get into the game screen, we will check out the teams and who they're on. Sagan playing our Bristleback for 5 and Q. And already a pause out from EoT, but doesn't stop the introductions from rolling on. Cynical playing the Naga Siren, Anarchy on the Nyx Assassin. Function going to be playing our Crystal Maiden, and QO, our midder, going to be on the Wind Ranger. 2 tangos coming out from Crystal Maiden onto QO. 1 given to the Bristleback, however, and actually 1 from Anarchy onto the Bristleback, most likely. And with EoT, RY going to be playing that mid Dragon Knight, as I mentioned. P Young on the Bane cast, playing the Alchemist. Jumong on the Mirana, and Chrissy again on the Nature's Prophet. So 5 and Q. Just
30 seconds.
no team's really rotating anywhere important at this laning stage. Seems as EoT is going to place on a couple of lane wards over in this general vicinity. I wish I could draw better lines on the map, but only on the mini-map, so regardless, lanes are game about to kick off now. And Cynical going to be playing that safe lane Naga Siren, having insane base armor with Ring of Protection, 8 base armor. Ugh, absolutely disgusting. Even with Chrissy in the lane, it's not going to do too much damage with the right click and the Treants. Function Anarchy, though, going to be tri-laning up here, so Chrissy may have the worst of times. This mid lane, however, going to be interesting. Windrunner really not... Oh, hold on. P Young coming in, sleeping up QO. Cass chilling the stun, stunning up onto QO. RY, Flame Breath, and dying. QO following the mid lane from the 3-man gank. Teleports back instantly and doesn't really miss out on too much experience. But as I was trying to mention earlier, before that death had happened, Windrunner really not a hero we see too often in the mid lane. Or really in the scene in general lately. But this is Korean Dota. This is the Koreans adapting and learning and seeing what works and what doesn't work, filling out the game in general. So, always going to see interesting picks like this. Windrunner, one of my favorite heroes. Really shouldn't be biased as far as heroes go, but a strong hero, but may not be too strong on the scene, doesn't have too much of an impact, and can't really work too much as a semi-carry. And Chumong, gonna be our safe lane farmer this game. Note to mention as well, Chrissy falling off that safe lane, so Cynical gonna get farm on farm up here in the top lane. Will be interesting to see what he goes for as his first item. Maybe that Midas, maybe... No, gonna pick up the Basilius, but Midas always a possibility, always looking to accelerate that farm. And both teams very passive game aside from that one runner gank thus far. Not really too much action going on. Mid lane's getting their bottles up. RY already getting his, and QO now having his as well. Going to crow it, however. Chrissy. And Courier sniped. Could have done the camera work a little bit better on that, but Chrissy in a bit of danger now. Function chasing down Shaka from QO, latching, and Chrissy gonna make it out with his life. RY goes in for bitter harass, but nothing major. So 5 and Q now down a courier as well as a kill. So guess might as well check the creep advantages. These lanes not providing too much action. Both teams passively farming. Meantime, we'll watch Cast as he debates whether or not he should go in that mid lane gank. And so thus far, both safe laners matching each other pretty well as the mid lane, so no distinct advantage as far as that goes. Still likely, however, inexperience gain or experience advantage in Dragon Knight's favor, as he did get that early kill, so slight experience advantage. And offlaners, Bristleback not performing as well as the Nature's Prophet, of course, as he cannot rotate to the woods. But experience-wise, they're even. Gold-wise, a little bit less, I believe, on Chrissy. That could be even. I don't know. It's hard to compare these heroes one to one as far as gold and that kind of stuff goes. Experience is definitely the easiest thing to look at. Bristleback in the meantime, though, catching the arrow after the sleep. So sleep arrow combo used once again in that fight, or used for the first time in that gank. Bristleback going down, even with his inherent tankiness. And stun flying out from cast onto Jumong, or to RY. No. Messing up all these names right now. RY killing QO with the Flame Breath and the stun from cast. QO falling down in the mid lane for the second time now, so having Q seemingly losing the grip on two of the lanes, however. Trying to take advantage of this safe lane, pushing down the tower very early with one of the earlier siege creeps. And tower to fall. Function getting the last hit. And QO taking a bit of damage in the mid lane with the double damage on RY. RY now picking up treads. And Cynical sitting on nearly 1,600 gold now. Picking up treads, so nothing too crazy yet from this Naga Siren. Kyo playing very aggressively, I'd say, in this mid lane. Always on it. Not so much life. But with the courier back up now, having his bottle again, finally. Going to hopefully get back into the swing of things. And Cynical almost hitting level 6 now. Once he has that ult, we'll be able to make team fights happen if they really want to. Function Anarchy though in the mid lane looking for RY. RY falling back towards his tier 1 tower though. Contest over the rune. P-Young and Chrissy denying it from QO. QO very sad in this mid lane still. Anarchy, Function. Shackle missing from QO. Function, Anarchy, not going to be able to follow it up either, so a failed gank attempt there. And lanes are still pretty much passive at this point. Both teams really just content, again, farming up. And Chrissy, cast, as well as P-Young. Oh, Naga hitting 6, popping that ult, being able to escape pretty easily. And it's going to make it out. So, 3 heroes rotating in for that gank, but to no avail. Bane using that Invis-Rune, as well as Chrissy teleporting in, so really a shame they couldn't get a kill there. But Naga ult proves to be too potent a life-saving mechanic. High ground ward out, Lair placed down by QO. Dragonite popping the ult. And EoT, P-Young, cast, smoking up, heading towards the top lane. Want to get that kill on Anarchy. Anarchy, however, or Cynical, my bad. Cynical, rather, just pulling the creep wave very far back as Anarchy is pulling the creeps. However, EoT now looking mid rather than towards the safe lane Naga. Spotting out the high ground ward now, or the lane ward. And EoT now looking to push down this mid tower. Function. Gonna have to hide in the trees to make sure that he does not die. Kyo teleporting back to lane now. Not gonna allow the push to happen out of EoT. EoT really not going to try to push too much though, so doesn't matter in the long run of things. And it's Bristleback. Sagan playing a bit out. Sagan having a vitality booster regardless of that first death, but P-Young Cast, rotating in, sleep up from Pyong, air likely to hit from Mirana after the stun from Cast. Sagan going down, Function trying to do what he can, but really can't do anything as a Crystal main at this point in the game solo. Jumong getting Mario there, but nothing a Salve can't fix up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Function looking to stack the Ancients, likely. Yes, indeed he does. Back to our mid lane as RY popping the ult once again. Maybe looking to go back on the tower, but Q having none of it, pushing the creep wave over in his direction. Jumps up now on Naga Siren.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bristleback looking sort of towards that ancient stack, but they're trying to defend the tower up a bit. Pyong and Jumong there, however, so that sleep arrow combo is certainly available. Cast RY looking at QO mid with a deadly glare. I'm not going to take advantage of it though. Alchemist having that invis. Team Ancient farming. 10 minutes in the game. Sagan doing what he can as far as that goes. Taking up as much as he can.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The Wind Ranger though, now hitting level 9. Still evenly matched pretty well with Dragon Knight, although Dragon Knight seems to have a bit more farm. Working towards it seems to be a Shadow Blade.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Actually, a Midas was picked up by Jumong on this bottom lane, so interesting choice by him. Gonna try and outcarry the Naga, if at all possible. Chrissy also picking up the Midas, so 2 Midases on the side of EoT. 5Q having really none on that term, so even with the Midas snares, oh, hold on. Arrow flying out from Jumong onto Sagan. Sagan gonna survive through it though. And tower's gonna go down for 5Q. EoT getting that gold with Chrissy rotating in. RY also looking for the top tower now. However, Q denying it just in time before the next poison tick, and the tower, however, falls irregardless of that. Cynical having none of it though, gonna try and get this T2 bottom. It's within the dying range, however, so we'll just see if Jumong tries to deny it or rather just tries to fall back and play it safe. Cynical, now throwing the illusions in. This will have backdoor protection, I believe. Or not. And really going for this tower. Jumong, however, getting the last deny on it. Cynical in a bit of trouble now if this arrow hits. However, no arrow thrown by Jumong, so no trouble there. Alchemist now finishing up his Medallion of Courage. DK now finishing up the Shadow Blade as well, so items starting to come out for EoT, gonna allow them to transition into that mid game mighty well. Cynical in the meantime now working towards, I don't know, likely a Radiance, but no idea. Rest of 5Q in the meantime gonna push down this mid tower, or this bottom tower. Cast teleporting in. 5Q know he's here now, and are gonna go for it. Mirror all popped, Chrissy popping the Prophet ult, Function going down to acid the tower, as well as Prophet ult. Sap onto Winner from Pyong, Winner going down, Sagan likely to go down next, and indeed he does. So 3-for-1 trade there, not gonna get the tower on 5Q either, so looking very good for 5Q at this point, down in kills 7-1 as well as towers. Essentially, well, even in towers in essence, but that bottom tower being denied. I apologize for counting towers wrong. But as we can see in the gold difference, EoT ahead by what seems to be about 2,500. Experience nearly 3,000 and spiking up to nearly 4,000 now. And gold actually spiking above 3,000 as well. As I was talking, Nyx cut out mid by ROI, popping the Shadow Blade, popping the ult, and getting that kill, what seems to be with ease. Winner seems to be building towards a Force Staff at this point. So for all that high impact mid hero stuff, Force Staff really not being something that's really high impact, more of a support item. Nothing like an Orchid, a early Hex, that kind of stuff. But EoT certainly looking very strong in this first game. And QO in a bit of trouble here. Sun out comes from ROI, and QO is gonna try and teleport out. Makes it out just barely. And only 320 from the Force Staff at this point. Jimbo in the meantime, 3 bottom. Stun coming out from Anarchy. Function. Going to get the kill before Rana leaps away. Now, mass TP's in from EoT. Sagan does not care, diving still underneath the tower onto the Alchemist. Alchemist now going down. Crystal Main dropping to the Acid Spray, as well as the tower. Sagan now gripped up. Stun out from ROI, and 2 for 2 here on the bottom lane. EoT trading Alchemist and Ro4, the CM, and Bristleback. Anarchy over spotted out here by ROI. ROI sees him, turns around, walks away. And P-Young playing very well right now, 3-0-3, helping a ton with these kills. And Necro coming up from Chrissy. Anarchy. Really nothing on him. Winner should be completing up the Force Staff soon. Oh, Necro actually. My bad. I should actually hover the recipe. I just assumed it was a Force Staff, but a Necro out of the Winner. Another what seems to be popular item within the Korean scene is that Necro book. I don't understand why Winner's really grabbing one, but I just assume that 5Q is really just to push with Cynical and use the illusions, use that kind of stuff as the rest of the team sits in the back and hopes they do not die. So really, I guess in essence, a pseudo push strat coming out of here for 5Q. And arrow did fly from Mirana. I heard it, but not there. Cynical in the meantime. Gonna be in a bit of trouble here. 3 EoT invading his woods. Doesn't feel in danger. Nope. Certainly feels in danger. No. No. What are you doing? Cynical. Gonna be ganked up here. RY throwing out the stun, throwing out the flame breath. Stun out from Cast. And Dragon Knight getting that one last hit. And Cynical going down. Losing not too much gold, but at 3,300 gold now. Delaying that radiance a little bit. I assume at this point is what she is going for. 5Q getting the tower on bottom in the meantime though, so carry for a tower. A decent trade as the supports hurt most heroes on 5Q being behind. EoT though gonna look to take this top tower in exchange for that bottom tower. Jumong in the meantime in a bit of trouble mid, just gonna leap out and make it away though. EoT getting that tower top. And 5Q looking maybe to contest mid a bit. Nothing really happening though. Crystal Main building up the Tranquils now, finally, 18 minutes in. Sagan now having that cloak. Cynical, back to the lane, back to farming. 70 gold off that radiance now. Assuming Chrissy and Cass are unable to kill her, should have it any minute now. And Bristleback coming up with the mech. Anarchy, spotting out Chrissy and Cast. RY, however, Shadow Blading in, so Could be a dangerous position for Anarchy, not knowing the Dragon Knight is here. Cass in a bit of trouble now. Stun, arrow, or stun, net. And power shot finishing him off. Naga starting getting the last hit. And buying the Radiance recipe first, it seems, instead of the relic. Not sure why. Usually a better idea to purchase the more expensive items first. But we'll have the Radiance in another 500 gold now. And should really mention that Cynical doesn't have too much in terms of ward protection near that top lane. And aside from this, recently just placed ward. All the other wards being in the opposing team's woods, but now fading. QO in the meantime though, however, gripped up, stunned up, and managing to survive. Sagan going again very deep underneath the tower. All of EoT chasing him at this point as he tries to kill ROA. But Jumong killing CM on the backlines in the meantime. Jumong gonna go down here though. 1 for 1 at this point. DK having the fallback though. Naga finishing up the Radiance now, but the Mirana finishing up the Lincolns and Chrissy finishing up her Necro 3. So big I'm starting to come up for EoT now. 5Q still working on those mid-game items. Wind Ranger, my bad, has still a Necro 1. And Cynical having the Radiance now. Farm accelerated, certainly. Really going to allow for more better team fights at a 5Q. And EoT smoking up mid. Not going to make anything of it though, as Christy tries to push up top. And 5Q going to expect to push down mid, but EoT not doing much. Pyong smoked up, doing some warding though. Having those offensive wards in the woods going to help out with killing Cynical so he doesn't get too far ahead with his newly acquired Radiance. And Dragon Knight up finishing up the BKB as well as the Shadow Blade. Kyo sitting on a Necro 2 now. Chrissy, Necro 3 still. And gonna summon some Treants. Cynical likely knows Chrissy is there, but can't do too much without the rest of her team. QO stalking Jumong on the Mirana. Mirana just gonna walk away though. QO likely looking for the Christmas to come in and help support. All of EoT though rotating towards the mid again. Nope, just meandering around at this point in the woods. Winner going on Jumong, however. Necro popped. QO in a bit of trouble here. Well, in a bit of a precarious position. Certainly if cast wrapped around a bit, could guarantee a kill onto QO. EoT, however, rotating in now. Anarchy catching their arrow while cloaked up, so gonna wonder where that arrow went, and blinking out actually, so. And once again, not too aggressive play compared to what's happened before in the Korean scene. 12-5 your score right now, 24 minutes in the game, EoT up. And I still believe currently in the gold inexperience lead. Gold actually wavering at this point, gonna drop a little bit in 5Q's favor, as well as the experience, so 5Q looking to try and make that comeback with the Radiance Naga. Anarchy though spots out P Young as well as Cast. P Young Vendetted and stunned. Sentry placed by 5 and Q. Stun coming out from QO, latching, Bane going down now. RY 4 versus 5 still going on to QO as Chrissy and Jumong rotating from the back. Wunderner and the Nyx going down. See him quickly following, and gonna be a 4 for 2 here as Sagan likely to go down now. And indeed he does, as he kills the Necro, transmuting 600 damage directly onto him and resulting in his death. So EoT coming out again ahead in that fight, really. Naga Siren though seems to be the one last hope for 5 and Q, farming away still, sitting on 1900 gold. So I'm surely once Cynical starts joining team fights proper, we will see a good one for 5 and Q, assuming this farming is for something. Anarchy spotting out Jumong, gonna stalk him down. And getting messed up a little bit by the autopathing. Spots out Chrissy instead, however. Vendetta stun, mana burn, and down goes Chrissy. And are we going to be working towards the Assault Kuros now, as QO still stacking up the Necro, wandered away from the last level of it. Cynical purchasing something up. A Manta. So Manta on Cynical now, nearly a good 800 gold, or 300 gold off. Five Q just turn around mid, Anarchy. Now having Blink. Well, had Blink for actually for quite a while. And really, both sides. Once again, meandering. Anarchy stalking Jumong. Jumong stunned. Dusted. Necro popped by QO. Rana leaping away, however, and seems to make it out. As well as cute as the King was by 5 and Q, rotating the Windrunner over and getting the latch, getting the double stun. Not enough. Cynical though, moving out of the woods as Manta comes up, pops the Manta, pops the illusions, and this tier 1 tower may go down just to illusions and such. RY, however, pushing out very much ahead and casting up the illusions. However, all of 5 and Q falling back after just really stealing that tower with illusions. QO though, man fighting up against Jumong in this bottom lane. Anarchy, however, rotating in. And Jumong again fighting it out with these two heroes, but going to make it alive with the leap once again. So 5 and Q 2 failed the gank attempts on this round now. Lincoln's proving too much of a pain for them to deal with. Cynical meantime, spotting out Chrissy top. Chrissy sitting on that Necro 3 as well as an ultimate orb now. Really 5 and Q here, just gonna wait for their Naga to farm up, it seems. Gold up and down, up and down. 5 and Q trying to take that advantage back, but EoT just proving that it's theirs to keep. Anarchy gonna block this pull without knowing. And maybe thinking about going on RY mid. However, Sentry Ward, Anarchy noticing blinking out instantly. And 5IQ going to make an attempt on Roshan here. EoT should spot this out. This ward, however, really a little bit misplaced for spotting out Roshan attempts. Really more a dire ward placement, if anything. And Roshan goes down pretty quickly with the Necros popped. So EoT missing out on the Roshan fight entirely. Free Roshan going in 5IQ's favor onto the Wind Ranger. Function now picking up a Sentry Ward, or not a Sentry Ward, a Invis Rune. But as I was trying to say, lots of Sentry Wards already placed down for EoT, so it could be a bit dangerous for the Crystal Maiden. Just gets rid of it nearly instantly, so no big deal there. Anarchy, however, we're in the next cam once again. Going to be roaming around with that Vendetta up. And Chrissy now finishing a Hex. So Nature's Prophet getting that cash money. The real non-aggression he's faced as far as deaths. Only one, sitting on 1 death, 2 kills, 10 assists. Got the Midas moderately at a decent time. So certainly very much in the lead, I assume, as net worth goes. Nope, still behind the Naga Siren bot, second place, next to his Mirana and Dragon Knight, but 5IQ being behind in all other respects, as on most of their heroes. Cold hour now, approaching even. The Naga is starting to just get an absurd amount of farm in his woods. Looks like a heart is to be next on Cynical. Once that's done, I assume 5IQ likely to push with the Necro 3 up on Wind Ranger. And likely soon to be the Nyx Assassin, unless that is a 4-staff. And a little bit of dewarding from 5IQ as they rotate bottom towards RY and Cast, as well as P Young. Heart now finished on Mirana, Heart now finished on Naga Siren. Desolator finished on Mirana. Naga surely can just start pushing these lanes, throwing illusions towards the towers, and they will not die. Windrunner trying to slow down this tower with the Necro with the ult up, but EoT gonna spook him away as 3 EoT heroes sitting on the bottom lane. Sack, let's steal this Ancient Sack from EoT. EoT having no idea actually, because, well, they do have somewhat of an idea, as this ward did spot them out. Cast, however, waiting for the rest of his crew, and they're going to rotate in and try and contest this Ancient Stack as Sagan is taking it out. Sagan, though, getting a majority of the gold as RY pops the stun on him. 2 minutes them coming out of Anarchy, however, Anarchy getting blown up too quickly to do anything else, though. Sagan in a bit of trouble now. Q teleporting out safely. Sagan with the damage block. Cynical, however, alting in now. Just going to drop some illusions and run away as well. And EoT trading pretty well there. Only using the Nyx, but Jumong, Chrissy pushing up top. And Shackle latching from QO. Not going to be able to kill Jumong, even with help from Function there. And Dragon Knight as well as Alchemist looking maybe to push out mid. And this Ancient Camp looking very weak at this point. So Nicole just going to push out the bottom lane a bit as RY looks to maybe gank him up. Cast also walking in that direction. Cynical might have to be careful here. His ult on cooldown from their 7 seconds though, so it should be pretty safe. But let's continue watching the Naga. Naga actually ulting out as the DK and the Alchemist show their faces. Second in the meantime, chilling mid. P Young Jumong thinking about going upon him. RY rotating in now, so function. Actually gonna go down now. Chrissy hexing up Anarchy. Sagan though, slept up. Anarchy throwing out a stun onto Chrissy. Sagan now stun up powered by Cast. And gripped by P Young and Bristleback falling, so Bristleback dying a little out of position there. QO getting as far from that side as possible. RY gonna go for the kill, however. Getting the kill, popping the Aegis. Aegis nearly to expire, so not too bad a trade for QO. RY popping the BKB as Cynical comes in. Cynical now hexed up by Chrissy, however. And Chrissy shackled to the tree as it latches. RY seems to be in trouble now though. Chrissy, or Cynical chasing him down rather. Comes popped by Cynical. And QO looking for the kill on the Mirana. Alt pop, however, so no true say on that Necromaiden. Nothing you could really do. A well fought fight by 5&Q there. Especially once the Naga came. Once the Naga came in, they really had that advantage, and it started to go much more in their way, even after the Bristleback and the Nyx had dropped. Nyx, I believe, dying twice in that fight, however? Huh? I'm not sure. Possibly, very possibly, but... Very tired. Korean games are very late for me. Second, they're going to push this mid tower in a bit. And both teams can chillax for a bit. Really no towers taken in the past while. No team really has a distinct advantage, so no reason for them to try and push the advantage they don't have by taking towers. Gold in the meantime, starting to go back into 5&Q's favor. Experience in Hammer's favor by a decent amount, but not enough to make a difference at this point at all. Enough to make a tiny bit difference in this part of the game. EoT Hour smoking up on the top lane. Likely looking for Hyo, who spotted that earlier. And moving in now on the RY cam. Chrissy teleporting in. Moving the wrong way to get to QO. QO just gonna make it alive. This team smoke didn't really work out too well, but it seems they're just gonna push the tower with this force anyway. Anarchy being stuck behind. Q's just gonna throw as many power shots out as he can. Dodging the air with a creep. Sagan now rotating in. Function on the way as well, and Naga gonna push down the mid tower in the meantime. Anarchy vendetta up. No true sight on EoT right now. Jumong gonna try and teleport out, however cancelled by Anarchy. Now shackled up by QO. QO and company gonna get the kill on the Mirana. And Chrissy, Cast, as well as Pyong just gonna run away as Mirana gets a second tower on the bottom lane now. So Mirana getting two towers in exchange for that fight top, where EoT did not manage to get the tower and ended up losing the Mirana. So EoT hurting a little bit now. Their weakness is showing as 5&Q pushing out a couple towers in that previous fight just with the Naga Siren. Naga Siren solo, mind you, like insane pushing power she has that are that Dota potential. And even then when you try and get her, she's got the ultimate, just pops it, walks away. And what an overpowered hero once you get a heart, drums, diffusal, as well as a manta on it. Ugh. And Future Travel also put Cynical now as well. So Cynical proving to be one of the deciding factors in this game and how it's going to turn out. Cynical 550 last hits nearly. Now picking up the Eagle Song, selling that drum. And on the way for Cynical. Cynical's illusion is going to become just that more hard to kill, as the evasion is now going to be applied to all of them. Bristleback in the meantime, we really been talking about items too much lately, so heart now up on him. Anarchy, Force Staff Blink still. QO, Shackling ROI, throwing out the power shot hitting, but EoT not liking this fight, even with the Naga Siren not being there yet. Naga Siren throwing that onto cast. Saga now gripped up, however, quickly cancelled by Pyong. Alchemist going down though. Jumong seems to be next in line. Jumong though retreating very far back, and Kyo hexed up now by Chrissy. And arrow from Jumong hitting on Sagan there. Sagan stunned up for a bit. And all popping from Chrissy, but 5Q just going to take the range racks. And possibly the melee racks here. EoT not wanting to engage in this, and even if they do, 5Q, once they're uncomfortable, can just ult with Naga and run away. Sagan eat another arrow to the face there. Pyong shackling up to RY. RY getting blown up. Pyong blown up next with the Vendetta. Oh boy. And 5Q gonna go for the tower bottom now. Bane and Dragon Knight down for EoT. EoT cannot really fight into this, as 5Q very healthy. Just having too much damage right now for the EoT to hammer. So just like that, single fight, EoT or 5Q taking 2 racks, having all that farm in the Naga now. So just very well played by Cynical. Cynical getting all that farm, waiting for his team to, well, no, really just having his team hold on for him as he amassed such a advantage with all of that. Last racks seem to be going down now. Winner guarding the fountain. Chrissy trying to backdoor. Pyong though gonna call the GG, well played. EoT losing the first game, even though they had the marginal advantage in the beginning. So best of 5 series this time around. EoT gonna be down 1-0 to 5Q. 5Q pulling out the first game in a comeback fashion. 15k gold by the end of the game in a gold advantage, and another 6,000, nearly 7,500 in XP. So yeah, 5Q pulling that one back. We're losing grasp early in the game, but managing to take control. And this was Frouwo casting this game out of the Nexon Sponsorship League Season 3, Round of 4, EoT versus 5Q. Winner of this goes on to the winners finals, 1 game away from the grand finals, and loser drops down to the losers bracket. But again, Frouwo casting, thanks for watching. I appreciate your viewership. If you like the cast, it's great. Like, subscribe, do all the cool stuff that if you appreciate something you do. And if you disliked it, give me some constructive criticism. Twitter, Facebook, not Facebook, Twitch, as well as YouTube, any of those options. And yeah, that's about it. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye.